Oh, I warmed it longer than a minute. Oh no.
So how long did you warm it for?
2 minutes. It's a little too hot.
So it seems maybe when the manufacturer said heat for no longer than a minute in the microwave, that maybe, just maybe, they might have been acting with your own interest in mind here.
Or maybe they're cowards.
Hi, we're back with Umineko. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, extremely hot. 2 minutes in the microwave.
God, it's been almost a month. Because we had like 3 different weeks where we had just other stuff running. So welcome back to Rokkenjima.
I forget what was happening, but it was,
I believe,
probably
Jessica
horrible
and Cannon
murder.
died.
Yeah, horrible murder. I guessed right.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if that counts as a guess. It's just like it's a statement of fact.
And yet.
Oh right, I read.
We can switch off. I can be you.
No.
Okay.
No, that's gonna add too many layers. Do you imagine how hard that's gonna be for us? We've spent so long training ourselves to read these characters, and then switching it up now is gonna suck so hard. With Jessica's death, it became certain that the culprit was hiding somewhere nearby, and that they'd come for our lives if they had a chance. According to Genji-san, when tomorrow morning comes, the boat should arrive.
Poor
The boat
fucker.
had a radio. Little did they know. We'd probably be able to contact the police directly with that. All of us had gathered in the parlor and decided to wait quietly until tomorrow. I proposed that we should search throughout the mansion for clues about the culprit, but Aunt Rosa rejected that, saying if we managed to corner the culprit or maybe provoke them, it might lead to a third murder.
Yours.
That's not wrong, is the thing. Like, that's not wrong. That was probably the right thing to do. If a bunch of amateurs like us investigated, there's no way we'd find anything. It would be wisest to focus on protecting ourselves without doing anything unnecessary, and leave it to the police starting tomorrow. Excuse me. We'd been tense at the beginning, but other than Aunt Rosa, most of us had spent all morning watching TV and getting bored, so our sense of danger had faded considerably. I don't know what... You saw your dead parents less than 24 hours ago.
Boy, howdy, am I bored of all this murder.
8 hours later. I wonder what's on SpongeBob.
That fits for Maria, at least.
Okay, yeah, but... and Battler knows something else is going on, and I guess George is older.
I don't know that that helps, but...
When we thought about it, yes, 6 adults certainly had been killed together in the first murder, but that made it seem like some backhanded method like poison had been used. And for the second murder, we figured those 2 became sacrifices because they'd been unfortunately isolated from the rest of us. From this, it was possible to imagine the culprit wasn't a large number of adults, and that they wouldn't be capable of killing this large a group gathered in the parlor all at once.
Watch me.
Oh my god, that's exactly what... Nope. No, you don't. Stop it. You've activated my trap card. Reverse and also Uno. Right now, in this parlor, there's George Aniki and me, Maria, Aunt Rosa, Genji-san, Goto-san, Shannon-san, Kumasawa-san, and then Dr. Nanjo for a total of 9 people. And Kinzo is just wherever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Kinzo's still in his room?
Maybe.
I don't recall what happened with... hold on. We have a way of checking on that. We haven't checked, about, let's see. Where's Jessica? Oof. That's not bad.
I was found in my own room in the mansion with a weapon shaped like a stake rammed into my back. Finally, at the very end, I got to be with the person I loved. I must have been happy. Ow.
Oh, I didn't leave a corpse, and yet I'm pretty sure I'm dead. The witch said so in red, so I'm definitely dead, even though there's no corpse. When the witch says it in red text, that means I'm definitely dead.
Oh, fridge theory time.
Hit me.
Are the servants undead? Is that why they're not human?
So kind of like building off the homunculi scenario where like there's some kind of non-human aspect to them.
Yeah, where it could be true that they are dead, and yet not true that
Well,
they've been finished off.
That may be the case, but we also watched Ganon die.
True.
Like we the POV.
And we saw his ghost.
Yeah. I left a false ghost and everything. Furthermore, Aunt Rosa was even armed with a gun.
How many on the cast have lightsabers, do you think?
That's a
Definitely at least 2.
great... Canon and Shannon probably have.
Yeah.
And we've seen what's his name? With no Mrs. Skodason. There we go. He's got his hand in that same position. In fact, we could probably cheat it that way. Hold on.
I don't know, though.
Because Canon, where's Canon? There you are, buddy. Had his arm across his thing, which is where the D sword went in, and I wonder. Goda probably also gets a D sword. Eh? No?
But he doesn't bear the wing.
That's true, but like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into the wrong thing. It's not like they can redraw sprites for certain scenarios. Right? That would be crazy.
I love that there's a glass shattering sound all the time.
Why does that happen? I just wanted to pull up the menu, and every time I'm done, you break it. Why can't there just be one menu?
I'm imagining that Beato is like, oh, time to turn off the TV, just hits it with a bat. And it's like, oh, it's time to watch TV again, fixes it with magic.
She watched the intro to Pup Team Epic one time, and she's been doing this ever since. Surely with this many people staying in this room, they wouldn't be able to touch us easily. That feeling of security, along with the passage of time, allowed us to recover from the shock of that morning bit by bit. By the way, lunchtime had just ended for us. However, it had been canned food lunch, a far cry from the dinner last night that Goda-san had skillfully made for us. Aunt Rosa had also suspected that poison may have been used in the first murder, so we probably couldn't deny the possibility the culprit had snuck into the kitchen during all that confusion in the morning and mixed poison in with the ingredients there. That makes sense, eat canned food, fine. Aunt Rosa gave orders to all of us saying that until the police came, we mustn't put anything into our mouths except safe things like canned food. The cook, Goda-san, must have felt very let down, apparently eager to display his skill anyway, said he at least wanted to grab some plates and arrange the canned food on them. At first, Aunt Rosa had been reluctant examining each of the plates that were brought, but she hadn't been able to find anything to complain about. And Goda's chef's pick canned food lunch combo was born. That's all it takes to make me happy. Goda-san said something about taste being savored not just with the tongue, but with the eyes as well. I see, it's the same canned food we ate for breakfast, but feels like something completely different.
You, Valor, I bet you miss me.
Yeah,
Did you miss this life? Oh.
very much so. We all missed Maria.
Ew, look. This is the wolf and sheep puzzle. Ew.
As I was sitting lazily on the sofa with no desire to watch TV, Maria came over, pulled a picture book out of her handbag, and held it out to me.
How much stuff does she have in there? We should keep
It's
a
a
running
bag of
total.
holding.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely a magic bag.
It's got to be a bag of holding. I mean, it is a pretty big purse.
I'm just imagining her lugging around like 60 pounds worth of random crap. It weighs as much as she does.
Oh my god. What's that book? Wolves and Sheep Puzzle? Let's see. Wolves and Sheep Puzzle. It was a phrase that Aunt Rosa had said this morning when we'd gone to call on Jessica. At the time I hadn't known what it meant, and right after that was that uproar when Jessica's corpse was found, so I'd forgotten about it completely. The book that Maria held out to me looked like a foreign picture book or something that had been translated. When I opened it, I realized that it was a book stuffed with riddles.
Ew. It's really funny because you make them say ligma, and then and then you can say something funny back to them. I can't say what it is though. Mom got mad at me last time.
I see.
You want to know what it is, Tyler? Tyler, you want to know what it is? It's
Yeah, what is it?
ligma.
Yeah?
Ligma balls.
Please visit http://catgirl.training for more of this high caliber humor at your fingertips.
Are we running ads in the middle of the... Oh my god.
So you have a few worlds and a few sheep, okay? Puzzle is how you take them to the other side using one boat.
Huh? Running games with rules like that. So this is a version with wolves and sheep. It was a very simple puzzle, passed on from long ago. Let's try posing a question. On the right bank, there are 2 wolves and 2 sheep. There's a boat that has as many as 2 animals can ride on, and using it, you have to move all 4 of them to the opposite left bank. That's the puzzle. There are 2 rules. First, regarding the boat. Even a single wolf or a single sheep can paddle it. It can only hold 2 animals. Second rule is regarding the wolves. When they are greater in number than the sheep in any location, they attack the sheep and it's game over. For example, at the start of the game, let's say the 2 sheep get in the boat and go to the other side, and one sheep gets off and the other goes back to the first bank. When it does, there are 2 wolves on the first bank and a single sheep returns there. When that happens, the number of wolves is greater, so the sheep is attacked and it's game over. On either bank, or even the boat, there must never be more wolves than sheep. And you've got to shuttle them all across under these conditions. By the way, the right answer is to move both wolves to the opposite bank in the first turn. Then 1 wolf comes back. The second turn, you move 2 sheep to the opposite bank. Then 1 wolf comes back. Then on the third turn, you put that last wolf that was right on the bank, on the boat, across the opposite bank. And congratulations, transport successful. Yay! I was actually thinking about solving it a different way. What you take over, what? Both sheep at first. Sheep comes back, you bring over sheep.
If the sheep
Oh,
comes
the sheep comes back, then sheep and wolf on that side.
Yeah.
Right, never mind. Partway, there may be the same number of wolves and sheep on the boat or on either side, but that isn't a problem. You only lose when the number of wolves is greater. This book uses wolves and sheep as an example, but lots of people probably know of this game using different characters. Looked like Maria wanted to test whether I too could solve the puzzles she knew how to solve. And she kept showing me different pages saying,
Solve this one.
and
This one's hard.
so what was happening when Aunt Rosa first mentioned this puzzle? That's right. When we decided to go and get Jessica, we talked about how many men should go. And Aunt Rosa mentioned the wolves and sheep puzzle, saying we should all go together. Wait a sec. That could only mean one thing. Aunt Rosa was saying that there was a wolf among us.
Title drop.
That's the wrong... It's the wrong... No, I'm not even... No, we're done. No, go back, Bigby. You're done here. So was she thinking that we'd be safe if the number of wolves and sheep was in balance, but that the wolves would bare their fangs if the situation changed? At the time we found our parents' corpses, Aunt Rosa already suspected the servants might be wolves. She'd sniffed out the possibility that, well, she didn't know whether it was all of them or some of them, there were wolves hiding among them. That's no surprise.
Happy Halloween.
God, I can't see that image now without being like, ew, God, gross.
Hey, happy Halloween. Oh, well, that's the wrong one.
That murder scene was very elaborate. It's easy to imagine that there were multiple culprits. And because she'd reached that conclusion when we went to Jessica's room and learned that Jessica had been killed after being alone with a servant, Cannon, it isn't hard to imagine why Aunt Rosa suspected the servants so persistently.
You servants. Goda-san is going to the kitchen to clean the dishes. Just in case, would you please all go with him?
My apologies, everyone. Let us go as a group. Shannon. Kumasawa, we are going.
Yes, coming.
Well then, George-san, excuse me for now. Yes. Take care. Ah, Aunt Rosa, could I go as well? I'm sorry, but would you remain here, George-kun? There's something I want to talk to you about. Is that so? Sorry, Shannon. Anyway, take care. Don't be alone. Yes. I'm sorry, Dr. Nanjo. I wanted to consult you about something.
Right in the middle of my coffee drink. The servants put the dishes and empty cans on the serving cart and started to head out into the corridor. Behind them, Aunt Rosa was talking to Dr. Nanjo about something in a small voice. Understood. I will go.
Yes, I'm counting on you.
Dr. Nanjo closed the book he had been reading, rose from the sofa, and followed after the servants. Aunt Rosa stuck her head out into the hallway. After seeing they were completely out of sight, she closed the door and spoke.
Listen up, everyone. With that, everyone here is an Ushiromiya. Yes, that's true. So, you're...
That's probably Battler.
Oh.
She's saying you chased out all the wolves, Aunt Rosa. With that one sentence, Aunt Rosa's gaze grew sharp. Apparently she had picked up on the sarcasm. She laughed lightly.
Your mind sure works fast, Battler-kun.
Nope, it was actually Maria's.
I like clever kids.
They're more fleshy when you shoot them. With my gun.
It means there's less to explain.
So who's here? It's just Maria and George and Battler and Rosa.
Yeah.
Badly smart. Can you solve this? Page 64 is hard.
Maria, go watch TV for a bit. Mama wants to talk with Battler-kun and George-kun.
It was bad.
Aunt Rosa, I heard about the puzzle from Battler-kun. I don't think it's wrong to be on our guards, but I also think there's such a thing as being too suspicious.
Whether the real culprit... this is Rose, I think?
I don't know.
Whether the real culprit is Beatrice or not, there's reason for us to suspect the servants are in on it. And the first murder where Nissan and the others were killed...
So it is Rosa?
Yeah.
In the first murder where Nissan and the others were killed, they were treated very brutally, right? Did that look like something that could have been done alone?
Maybe the mystery guest Beatrice-sama worked all night and did it all.
And what about the master key in the door to Jessica's room? Isn't that proof that one of the servants was involved?
Right, I resigned that one. Only the master key could have locked the door to Jessica's room, so we can only suppose that one of the servants did it. No. Wait. Spin the chessboard around. That's strange, Aunt Rosa. After killing Jessica, why would the culprit go all the trouble of locking the door? The fact that it was locked made it inevitable that the owners of the master keys would be suspected. There was no reason for them to go to all the trouble of locking the door.
That's right.
Unless they just simply didn't want it to be found as quickly. I don't know. Like, there is just a simple reason for that one.
It's just as Battler-kun says. There was no need for them to go to all the trouble of making themselves look suspicious. Wait.
That was George.
Gee, I suddenly sound like Rosa.
Don't worry, man. It happens to me all the time.
It runs in the family.
We start speaking in wrong voices, and sometimes y'all can hear what's going on in my head. What's going on in my head right now?
I don't know what's going on. I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
How'd you know? How'd you know?
Yes, that's an interesting thought. Of course, I also thought that. Definitely, I did. Of course. If that's the case, then the person who locked it wanted to cast suspicion on the servants and locked it without a master key. But that's impossible, right?
That's right. There existed some trick that could lock the door without a master key. That would make this a great disguise for casting doubt on the servants. The culprit's goal was for us to isolate ourselves from the group so they could attack us one by one. This trick would also be effective at giving rise to paranoia. Can you lockpick in reverse?
Probably.
Like, legitimate question. Like, you always see people lockpicking to open locks. I don't know, mechanically, is it possible to then use the same tools to relock something? I legitimately do not know.
Me neither. I haven't watched enough lockpicking lawyer channel videos.
Oh. But there was no way to lock that door without using a master key. This is Rosa.
Is it? Okay. How can you be sure there's no way to lock that door without a master key? Isn't that a devil's proof like Rudolph Nissan was talking about earlier? Maybe it was locked by some method we can't think of.
Oh. No, you were right. Oh, no, it's still Rosa. Yeah, okay.
Even if we can't think of a way, we can't deny the possibility of some unknown trick being used, such as magic.
The problem is that once you start introducing that, then that becomes a legitimate argument for literally every possible piece of evidence you could bring up. Because then, oh, well then how did we know they were killed? But it could have been magic. How do we know that they were?
I do believe that's the point, as we've established every other time we bring up devil's
exactly.
proof.
Ugh. That's true, I guess. So, is that it? No smoke without fire again?
I don't know the practical details of the trick, but I have a general idea. My apologies, but if we make the assumption that Canon-kun was the culprit, it can be explained extremely easily. Even as to why there was no corpse. Huh? But Canon-kun didn't have a master key, right? Putting aside the other servants, at least Canon-kun shouldn't have been able to lock the door.
I see. So that's why you told us to search in the closet and everywhere else right after we entered Jessica's room. Aunt Rosa, your mind works faster than I would have guessed from how you normally act.
Wow, fuck you.
I mean, fair.
The brain speed of a little sister... The brain speed of a little sister is always the big sister's -1. Right now, there's no one I need to worry about offending, which is certainly a relief.
George Aniki realized she was referring to Aunt Ava, and seemed a little uncertain about how he should take that sarcasm.
I'm sorry. Could you explain
Sorry
it?
for what? You said it. You said it, George. Sorry for what?
Could you explain it so even I can understand? Canon-kun's master key was in Jessica-chan's pocket, closed up inside a closed room. After the door was locked, it should have been impossible to put it in her pocket from outside the room, no matter what trick he used.
That's not it, Aniki. It was done the way Aunt Rosa's thinking of. This trick could only be used by Canon-kun. Plus, the door could be locked without using a key, while the master key was still in Jessica's pocket. Oh. Slow acting poison.
Don't we know that she has been stabbed and has a thing sticking out of her?
Maybe she was stabbed, but lived long enough to try to get away.
But she's in there.
Yes, so she tried to run away, locked the door behind her so Cannon couldn't come after her, but succumbed to her wounds. Took the key so that way she... So in an attempt to get away to protect herself, but...
Okay.
And it would also result in his corpse disappearing.
How?
That's gotta be it.
How could he lock the door without a key?
That sassy face. Look at that sassy Rosa face.
Is Rosa gonna turn out to be evil this arc, or some arc? I bet she will.
It's simple.
It's simple. George-kun, when you return home, you lock the door, right? You twist the knob, click, and you're done, right? Huh? Could it be... No, but Canon-kun was nowhere to be found.
It looks like you got it, Aniki. That's what Aunt Rosa was searching the room for. She was searching for Canon-kun. would lock the door from the inside and stuck the key in Jessica's pocket. Or hiding somewhere, waiting for us to walk right past him. It was the simplest kind of closed room trick. It meant him hiding inside the closed room after the murder was committed. Then all he had to do was get out after those who had discovered the body left, and the closed room murder would work perfectly.
When we searched that room, we didn't find anything. But for all we know, that room might have had a hidden passage that only the servants know about. We don't know where such a thing might have been hidden.
Oh no, they're taking this a different direction than I thought. Okay.
But if we assume there was such a passage, we can conclude it was impossible for everyone but him.
Well, about that line of reasoning, I thought of that too at the very beginning. The kind of reasoning I hate the most, so I wanted to destroy it right at the start.
Cannon was killed in this room, right? You apparently suspected that Cannon was the culprit, so you made me repeat this to destroy that possibility right off the bat. Yes, I understand.
So this is what I thought next. I made a theory where there were actually 3 people in that room. Jessica and Cannon-kun were victims. And the culprit, I guessed Beatrice, was also there with them.
You wanted to make it the human me, who committed the crime without using magic. I see. A bizarre theory that suits you perfectly.
I guess that you killed those 2, then locked the door from the inside, and that you carried Cannon-kun's corpse away using some secret method that normal people wouldn't notice. In other words, you used a secret door to escape. You told me it in red. You said no kind of hidden door existed in that room.
Indeed. There can exist no secret passages that you all are not aware of. Was it Knox who said it, or was it Van Deen? It seems that in mystery novels there must never be hidden passages. I simply followed that etiquette.
I love how they keep bringing you back to mystery novel tropes. I really should try to get reading more mysteries. The problem is that like a lot of them just kind of roll off of me. But I feel like there's kind of a gap in my cultural knowledge there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So even without having to thoroughly search the room, a famous detective could conclude that no secret passages exist. Humans playing detective have it so easy.
Damn you! Talking so big!
Actually, my letters are the same size as your. Look up.
What? Wait, have those? I mean, that's great for accessibility, but how long have those been there? Why is everything it's going when oh no, the words in my won't stop coming out. They're coming closer. They're gonna click away, click away.
He keeps talking, but he keeps talking, the words keep coming, and they're coming closer and closer to it. It's like, no! He can't stop. It's been a good while since we played this game, alright?
Thanks to the mighty witch being so diplomatic, I get to conclude that the room had no hidden doors without searching the whole thing.
Indeed. There are no hidden doors in this room.
Article? What's this room? The room that we're in, or that room?
There is no way to get in or out other than the door and the windows.
Which means the theory Aunt Rose is so confident in is wrong. Also, annoyingly, it's impossible to disprove her theory. If you, the witch, say, there are no hidden doors in red... Sorry, if you, the witch, say, there are no hidden doors in red, then it's settled. However, no matter how much a human like me tries to argue against her, Aunt Rosa probably won't accept it. Humans can't prove there's no hidden door. It's the devil's proof. Damn. Damn. It sure is convenient being a witch.
No, you could prove that. There's a finite amount of real estate that a hidden door could be placed in.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to exhaustively search every single wall, and you basically have to find every single opposite side of the wall, ceiling, and be confident. Like, basically just punch it through.
Yeah, just knock down the house, then you know.
Yeah, precise. I'm not saying it's convenient. I'm just saying you could.
Anyway, hire my detective agency. A crime was committed. Let me get the crane. We're knocking down the house. But the crime wasn't committed there. It comes down anyway. No way. To call Canon-kun the culprit because of a hidden door we don't even know exists. I can't accept that. If you can't accept it, then find me a different theory that's more convincing.
Here's the thing, Rosa's not wrong. She's going with the most convincing theory that requires the least amount of extra assumptions. Mm-hmm. And frustratingly for us, that's a very reasonable position to take in with the knowledge she has. And unfortunately, red text knowledge is not transferable.
Yep. There is none. I've been thinking this whole time. There's no other option. George-kun, you and Shannon-chan are close, right? I imagine that's why you find it so hard to accept that all the servants are culprits. Even I don't want to believe that Shannon-chan is in league with the culprit, but whether they're all in it together or not, there's definitely a culprit or maybe an accomplice in that group. That point alone is something you absolutely need to understand.
You guess there were wolves besides Canon-kun. Does that mean the uproar you caused by accusing Canon-kun in Jessica's room was to gauge the reactions of the other servants?
Yes, that's right. And as a result, I began to suspect them even more. There certainly is a wolf among the servants. Certainly. And just like in the wolves and sheep puzzle, while they may be docile most of the time, they'll surely attack if they get the chance. Jessica-chan was a lone sheep on the boat. In Maria's version of the puzzle, they may not attack when there's an equal number of wolves and sheep, but our puzzle is different. Depending on the situation and the number of people, they'll attack even if there is a balance. Just like when Jessica-chan was killed. Then there's something that makes me mad. If that's
This is my
true,
mad face.
If that's true, then when you made Shannon go to the kitchen, you put her in a dangerous situation, didn't you? Oh, that really grinds my gears. We should go to the kitchen right now, too. No matter who may or may not be a wolf. If staying together means we remain in balance, then I think we should keep it that way. Shannon-chan went to see father along with Genji-san. At that time, she was supposedly isolated, but she wasn't killed. Was it because Genji-san wasn't a wolf either? Wrong. It's because they were both wolves.
Whoa, Rosa!
We've seen her gradually sliding from Canon did it to there's someone among the servants to all the servants are culprits.
Yeah. She's started with something very reasonable and is now kind of sliding toward. All right.
What I want to know is what did she ask Dr. Nanjo to do?
See if Kinzo was alive.
It seems odd that she'd ask him to go alone.
She probably doesn't care about him. She probably thinks he's fine. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't have any. I'm guessing that she does not care very much for the health and safety of Dr. Nanjo at this moment.
My thought would be if she thinks he's a wolf, then she would have sent him with the servants. And if she thinks he's not, then she would have kept him here for safety and numbers reasons. So, that she asked him to do something other than either of those two things is unusual and suspect.
So, do you think she thinks Dr. Nanjo's safe then?
It wouldn't make sense with her stated logic. I don't know. Maybe we'll probably find out soon.
Okay.
Shannon isn't the kind of person who would take part in a crime. I can't let a comment like that slide, not even from you, Aunt Rosa. I demand that you take back what you just said.
I hate saying this in front of Aniki, but the way you're arguing, Feels just like something Aunt Ava might say. It's like you're automatically assuming that you're right unless we can counter your argument. Looks like you can't fight against your own blood after all, Aunt Rosa.
Even I can't think of myself as very praiseworthy right now.
It's another good point, is that, like, just because they don't have an immediate counter argument doesn't mean that what she's put forth is foolproof. It means it might be the most plausible theory at the moment, but it definitely doesn't mean that's foolproof.
But guess what? I'm a mother. I'd become even a demon to protect Maria's safety.
Yeah, we can read that.
I really wish I could shut myself away somewhere alone with her and this gun. The gun is an important part. Have I mentioned I have a gun, guys? But I also plan to act as a mother to you two. Right now, you're practically my children. Even if you aren't my own, I won't forsake you. No matter what.
But you will forsake your child's wife. Got it. That's where that ends. Good to know.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know that! Holy shit, you're right! George hasn't shared that.
Yep.
Oh, deuce! Okay.
Or if she does know, that would be deeply suspicious.
Yep. Well, thanks for that.
I just wanted to warn you not to be careless. As your mother, stay where I can see you at all times. I will protect you.
At the same time, you'll be observing us to make sure we aren't wolves. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. Can you, Aunt Rosa, prove that you're not a wolf yourself?
Yes, I can.
That's a quick answer. How?
With this. This is my proof.
Aunt Rosa lifted her gun and pointed the barrel at me. But it was only for an instant. She immediately lowered the gun, laughing impishly. But to me, the time I spent staring down the barrel of that gun felt like an eternity.
Oh, gun pranks starting now.
No! No!
How does that gun prove that you aren't the culprit, Aunt Rosa?
Think about it. What if I were the culprit? Would I really give up the once-in-a-lifetime chance I got when the servants left?
Are you a Rosa now?
Shit. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You can be if you want to
No,
be.
it's okay. No, it's cool.
I could just shoot you, bang, and think of a fitting excuse later. Something like, Beatrice appeared outside the window and started shooting at us. I'd just need to leave 2 empty cartridges on the ground and say I fired back at her twice.
Well, that's a crazily violent argument, but it does make sense.
There's something Krausny's son used to say all the time long ago. Might is right. Maybe that really is true. I've changed a lot now that I have a gun, huh?
Yeah. Turns out handing people guns tends to change how they think and act. Who knew?
Umineko. Umineko if every Ushiroyo was strapped.
It keeps ending on day 1, ever 1.
Beatrice doesn't even show up before the bloodbath starts.
You guys did it all without me.
I'm sorry, you two. I've somewhat lost my composure after all the crimes since this morning. You know how I normally am, so I must seem desperate and a bit short-tempered right now and not possessed by a witch. But please understand.
You think she's possessed by a witch?
No, certainly not.
Okay. Cool.
I want to protect you from a malicious culprit. I will become a demon to do that. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry for saying something that's angered you. Battler-kun, George-kun, let's make up.
And Maria, who is still here. We haven't heard from Maria in a good long while.
Just watching TV.
Yeah, okay. An unsatisfied expression rose to George Oniki's face. He probably couldn't forgive the damage done to Shannon's honor. What about me? Several bits of circumstantial evidence hinted at the servants' participation. I didn't want to believe that one of them was the culprit or possibly colluding with the culprit, but in our current situation, that was little more than wishful thinking. Whom should I believe? In the first place, who is the culprit? Are there accomplices? And if so, how many? 5. Seems I've only been suspecting people we know. I quickly forgot that 19th person, the guest, Beatrice, who arrived yesterday and boldly claimed to be the Golden Witch. In fact, I still haven't seen her face. I heard that she greatly resembled the witch in that portrait. But since I haven't seen her directly, no matter how hard I try, it doesn't really feel to me like a 19th person is on this island. I've been subconsciously hallucinating that the culprit is one of the 18. Damn it. Come out, Beatrice. If you're the bad guy, then act like the bad guy and show yourself, laughing in a high-pitched voice and mocking us. Just like a bad guy in one of those dramas who, even when they're exposed to the culprit, aggressively says, "Where's your proof?"
Where's your proof, bro? Where's your proof?
You can't 100% prove it's me, so even despite all the circumstantial evidence, I get to walk away scot-free. Shut up. No more talking. Wow! Wow! Shut down! Badler's pissed. There were 5 humans in the kitchen, but it was very quiet, filled only with the sound of the rain. Oh, did she ask Nanja to go with them? It was only accented by the sound of Shannon and Kumasawa washing the dishes. 5. Because Goda, Genji, and I guess Nanja's in there too, huh?
Yeah.
Goda was using the leftovers from breakfast and lunch as ingredients for a soup. Rosa had suspected that poison might have been added to the food, so they decided to eat canned goods, but it hadn't been too satisfying. But Goda thought she was being too cautious, so he was spontaneously creating a soup to be served only to those who wanted some. Shannon and Kumasawa were washing the dishes that the food had been arranged on. On the inside, they thought maybe Goda should wash them since he'd be the one who wanted the food arranged on the plates in the first place, but they left their complaints unsaid for the time being. Genji and Nanja were facing each other across a crude chess set that had many years of experience. The game had still only just begun, and because the opening game of these experienced players had been honed to perfection, it looked like a ceremony where they just moved specified pieces in a specified order.
Oh, high-level chess play.
Oh, that's a nice aroma. You wouldn't get this from canned food.
It was made only from sealed ingredients, so there won't be any poison mixed in. I am making enough for everybody, so please eat. Of course, I will also taste for poison. Please feel secure and eat.
That really is a nice aroma. Goda-san, the food you cook really is delicious.
Being able to create delicious food when you buy delicious ingredients is hardly special. My master told me that a true cook needs to perfect their ability to make delicious food from whatever is on hand.
Oh, that was a good master. Next time it looks like we will get to enjoy some totally delicious soup.
Although it is a shame that it was made from ingredients intended for all of the family members to eat.
I'm sure Rosa's on his side after everything that happened this morning. It is only natural. But thanks for all that, we get to drink some soup made from delicious ingredients.
Rosa had fervently warned everyone that they didn't understand the danger they were in, that they must assume that poison was mixed in with the food. The mood at the time had led them to agree, but hunger wasn't something that could be swayed by a momentary emotion like that.
Ironically, we've ended up with a soup that we normally wouldn't be able to savor. Possible I'd like to serve it to everyone in the parlor, but...
Seeing that would violate Rosa-sama's instructions, you had best give up on that idea. It's enough that only those who want to eat it do so.
Skillfully taking a breather when no one's looking is also an important skill for a servant, isn't it?
When Kumasawa cackled, Shannon and Goda laughed too. It seemed that in this space, where only their fellow servants were gathered, they could relax quite a bit. Shannon didn't like Goda's occasional dishonesty, but she knew that there was no falsehood in his childish smile when he cooked, nor in his desire for people to enjoy his food. So even though it was a little aggravating to be made to wash the dishes, she couldn't really hate him. However, they couldn't have dreamed that Rosa was calling them wolves in the parlor at exactly the same moment they were spending their time peacefully like this. At that time, several of the servants heard a sound like something being dragged, and then a thump. It seemed like the sound made by a servant outside the back door when they were carrying a mountain of trash bags on a rainy day. Or maybe when a servant was returning from work wearing a raincoat.
Are we gonna find Cannon?
Oh no. So at first the sound didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary to them. But they soon realized, right now, everyone was either in the kitchen or the parlor. So who could possibly be at the back door? As the servants all looked at each other, they checked to make sure that each one of them knew what that sound meant.
Oh no, who could that be?
The servants knew the mansion's layout well, so they understood how incomprehensible it would be for someone in the parlor to actually go outside in this typhoon, go all the way around, and come up to this back door. Then was it Kinzo? I can imagine that Kinzo, who never left his study, would dash out into the middle of this typhoon and come to the back of the house, where only low-class people have ever entered or exited.
That wasn't our imagination, was it?
Okay.
I see.
I tried. Shannon and Kumasawa drew closer together, fearfully looking at the back door.
Ma, who is it?
As Goda fearfully approached the back door, he called out, and his eyes flashed towards the butcher's knife that sat on a nearby sink. He didn't pick it up yet, because there was still a possibility that this was a member of the family. However, that possibility was impossible.
That's a good sentence.
Whew! That's like people
Fate
die when they
tier.
are killed.
Yeah,
tier.
that's fate tier.
There was no response from across the door to Goda's initial question. Maybe his voice had been so quiet it hadn't reached through all the wind and rain outside.
Mo, Genji-san.
Yes. Stand back. Dr. Nanjo and the women. Genji took the knife with a classical design from a stationary box placed near the chess set. It was something to be used instead of a paper knife to open envelopes for statements of delivery and bills, but it was still a knife, so the blade on it could injure someone. Genji hid it in his sleeve with a well-practiced motion.
Interesting. With
Yeah.
a well-practiced motion.
Genji's apparently really awesome in secret.
Genji is constantly carrying like 50 knives up his sleeve, clanking around.
Ninjutsu. Then he approached the back door himself, giving Goda a silent nod. Goda cautiously approached the back door and slowly started to open it.
Bloody hell.
Uh,
The shadow of a person suddenly shuffled into sight, landed on its knees, and fell over. Goda fell backwards onto his backside and couldn't get up. The human shadow was soaked with rain, smeared with mud, and drenched with blood.
Cannon-kun. Cannon-kun.
Cannon. Are you all right? Dr. Nanjo. It was Cannon. His breath was feeble, and the puddles of mud he left were quickly drenched in bright red.
I got freed from the demon dimension.
When Nanjo held him and turned him face up, there was a deep, gruesome wound right in the center of his chest, as though he'd been stabbed there by a spear or something. Why is it always Cannon that's the determinator? I'm just saying, he's in both go around so far. He's been the one that's been like, no, fuck dying. I've got something to do first.
Yeah.
Even now, deep red blood poured out from there.
Oh, this is horrible. What shall we do? Get a first aid kit.
Please push your head against the wound. Please push firmly. Let's carry him to the bed in the ferment room. Everyone, please run ahead. Come now, Kanen-san. Please hang in there a little longer. This is my concerned face.
Hang in there. It'll be okay. So don't take your hand from the wound.
At any rate, let us carry him to the servant room. Kumasawa, inform Rosa-sama that we have found Cannon.
Wait. Wait, no, Rosa-sama.
Oh.
Please wait. Kanen said not Rosa-sama.
What do you mean, Cannon-kun?
This is no time for that. Let us quickly carry him to the servant room. Kumasawa, do not tell Rosa-sama yet. We will do it after we hear the situation from Cannon.
Oh, yes.
He had told them not to tell Rosa right after appearing in this state. This could only mean something very disquieting. An eerie anxiety rose to their faces.
Come now, everyone. Let's hurry and carry him. Quickly.
Maybe Beato is possessing Rosa?
Maybe! Cannon's wound was unbelievably deep, and, judging from Nanjo's pale face, it was a miracle that he was still conscious.
This is horrible. I wish I'd been stabbed by something like a spear. If I haven't reached the lungs, I might be able to do something. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the breathing.
No matter how much Nanjo tried to wipe off that gushing deep red blood, he couldn't do it. He couldn't wipe it all away. And each time the wound was aggravated, causing Cannon to cry in anguish.
Cannon-kun, Cannon-kun, Cannon-kun.
So then why did we see his force ghost?
Yeah, huh? That's weird.
I don't know why I'm calling it a force ghost anymore. It's just a regular ghost.
He has a lightsaber, he gets a force ghost.
You know what? You're right. Absolutely right. I take it back. It was a force ghost.
Cannon's a fucking Jedi. You heard it here first.
So you're saying he's a cop?
Team Beato. No cops allowed. Hang in there. Hang in there.
Dr. Nanjo, here's a new towel. How horrible.
What is his condition?
I don't answer. This is so severe that I cannot believe he is alive. Maybe the location of the wound was fortunate. The blood loss is too horrible. A blood transfusion is necessary, but that will be impossible until tomorrow.
Jesus Christ, dudes, I already knew I was going to die. Just let me tell you the thing that I crawled over here
Rosa-sama, to us!
Don't talk, Cannon-kun. Your wound will open.
Rosa-sama came to Milady and me and...
What did you say?
Rosa-sama did... Ooh, could that mean... What that mean? Are you certain? Yes, I'm certain it was Rosa-sama.
That's interesting.
We haven't... So it's not canon. It's Beato pretending to be canon. Because... Canon knew it was Beato. He knew the score from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Because, D-sword fight. And also, we noted, tellingly, we haven't had a portrait of Canon.
True.
Come now, don't speak anymore. Kumasawa-san, please grab another first aid kit. Genji-san, is it possible Rosa-sama did such a thing?
I do not know. Disregarding Nanjo and Kumasawa, who were struggling hard and stained with blood as they tried to stop the bleeding, Genji and Goda faced each other. Because if what Canon had said was the truth, Rosa was the culprit who killed Jessica. Curse you, Rosa! Would you do that to Milady? I'll kill you, I will kill you! Canon screamed even more hatefully. His hate-filled voice made it seem like he was seeing Jessica being harmed right before his eyes.
Certainly Rosa-sama may have had a reason to kill Milady. If everyone in the Ushiromi family were destroyed, the inheritance would all go to Rosa-sama. So if Bado-sama and George-sama are in danger, not only is Rosa-sama holding a gun, but right now they're the only ones in the lounge. Genji-san, isn't this situation quite perilous?
Shannon suddenly ran out into the corridor. Her expression was complex and tragic, as though she didn't know what to believe. She's gonna go kick down Beato's door and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Shannon ran. To where? The inside of the mansion had been scrupulously cleaned, so it probably wouldn't be easy to find. She might find it if she searched the rose garden, but it'd probably been lost in this wind and rain. That's right. The boiler room isn't cleaned very often. If she went there, she might be able to find it.
Oh.
Shannon ran downstairs to find that. The underground boiler room. What is it, though?
What is that?
Did some medicine take effect at the brink of death, or was Cannon finally beyond feeling pain? For the time being, at least Cannon's painful gasping had subsided. Nanjo apparently didn't view this as a very good sign, and he didn't let his eyes off Cannon for a second. Kumasawa firmly gripped Cannon's hand and kept encouraging him so the willpower keeping him alive didn't fade away. Genji and Goda seemed uncertain how to respond to the truth Cannon risked his life to deliver. Rosa-sama's gun surely has 4 or 5 shots loaded.
That's no small number, but loading cartridges into a Winchester should require a lot of practice. She might be able to get one shot off, but if everyone attacks her at once, we should be able to take the gun from her before she shoots again.
This is interesting. So, Beato is playing both sides to deliberately create this sheeps and wolves scenario.
Yeah.
And make each of their reasonable suspicions and actions toward the other appear as a reason for the other side to suspect them.
Yeah, it's very good.
She's getting them to attempt to attack in numbers exactly like Rosa's logic made everyone fear.
Mm-hmm. We may have a doctor on this island, but we have no access to medicine and no hospital. The location of the shot is bad. The person will die.
I understand that, but more importantly, if we don't move quickly, there's a chance another crime will occur. Seems to me that Rosa-sama managed to cleverly chase us out. Maybe George-sama and Battler-sama are being killed right now.
If our were so dangerous, it'd be better if we didn't provoke them too much.
But tomorrow is still a long way off. We can't even imagine what strategies she might use. Genji-san, we should take action first. Can at least steal the gun under some pretext, it might work out.
There are 4 or 5 cartridges, are there not? I mean, there aren't enough to kill all of us. As long as we don't carelessly provoke her. Surely even Rosa-sama couldn't be that rash.
No, she said it. She said she'll massacre all of us. Ken, who they thought was sleeping quietly, suddenly started talking brightly. Almost as though he'd been awake this whole time and suddenly opened his mouth. Cannon looked firm and steady, which relieved Nanjo to a bit, but considering the depth of that wound, he couldn't wipe away a certain creepy feeling. He knew because he was a doctor. After losing so much blood, Cannon might easily have lost consciousness, and yet somehow he was still intensely aware of his surroundings. Was it youth? Or was it tenacity? Sometimes the power of human life surpassed common knowledge. While stopping the bleeding, Nanjo had groped around a bit inside the bleeding hole with tweezers, making sure there were no foreign objects inside the infected area. The great depth of the wound had shocked him. It certainly reached as far as his lungs. And yet... No, but the fact that he's still alive is wonderful. Cannon had spoken clearly. He'd hatefully stated that the one named Rosa made this wound, cursing, raging over and over.
Red eyes now.
Evil Cannon, what's he going to do? She wants to kill everyone by any means necessary, before the typhoon passes so she can have the Master's wealth all to herself. She told me that clearly.
Damn. What a person. Genji-san, what should we do? Are there any weapons we can...
I find it hard to believe. I think that Rosa-sama would say something like that. Cannon just kind of evaporates in.
Genji-sama, it isn't a question of whether you believe or not. She told me. I heard it. Why won't you believe me?
Don't get up. You'll harm your wound.
Cannon sat up on the bed, speaking to Genji, who didn't seem to be willing to believe Cannon's story.
She'll definitely kill all of us. She must have killed everyone in the parlor by now. If we don't kill her first, we'll definitely be killed first. Just like how I was killed first, everyone will also be killed first.
Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Hold on there, bucko. Hold on there, bucko.
I told you, Eva Cannon, what's he going to do? Kill or be killed. Kill or be killed, or be killed, or be killed.
Cannon-san, does that really not
Wait,
hurt?
Shannon's not there.
Wait, she left.
Wow, sounded like the child about that.
Fuck, it's spreading.
Does that really not hurt?
Oh, this? This is nothing.
What do you mean it's nothing, no?
It really isn't a big deal. It doesn't even hurt anymore. It's really nothing.
As Cannon said that, he began to untie the bandages that had been painstakingly wrapped. The gruesome hole in his chest was immediately exposed.
Cannon-san, you mustn't do that. Lie down, quickly.
I said it's fine. Hey, see? This is nothing, right?
Cannon showed off his gaping wound, which was still slowly spitting out foamy blood. One averted their eyes reflexively.
Look, I told you it wasn't a serious wound at all.
Stop. You must comply with the wound.
Come on, see? It isn't a deep wound at all. Look. Look.
Cannon held up 2 fingers, showed them to everyone, and slowly started to stick them into the gruesome wound right in the center.
Beato having some fun with everybody.
This is just rude. Let the man die. Why would you do that? Plunging, slimy, squishy, wet. The fingers went in deep all the way to their bases. Squish, bloop, bloop.
Can you get in, stop it? Ooh.
Those fingers were sticking all the way into his chest up to their bases. He slowly pulled them out in exactly the same way. Fingers he pulled out were stained in a sticky, solid, deep red color, and there was even a thread hanging. Fingers were covered up to their bases in deep red.
What in the world?
See? It's not a serious wound at all, see?
At that moment, the door was slammed open and Shannon appeared. Even after she saw Cannon stained with fresh blood, her impregnable expression didn't falter.
Hey, Nason. Wait, that's...
Hey, Nason, where'd you go? I'm on the verge of death here, so where'd you go?
That's right. I went to the boiler room. There was something I had to find. More importantly, there's something I need to ask you. Are you really Cannon-kun?
Evil Cannon. Oh.
Huh? What?
It was only natural. Everyone believed he was Cannon, so they couldn't understand the meaning of Shannon's question.
This also makes more sense with Cannon's last stand in the boiler room, if there's something down there that the servants know of.
They said somewhere that hadn't been cleaned in a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a boiler room specifically, or if that's just it happens to be a good place to find it, but...
We'll see.
When they looked, they noticed Shannon was holding a handkerchief in her hand. It was filthy and looked like it had been used to wipe up some trash or dust. While holding that, she approached Cannon, drawing closer to his feet. What is that?
It's a handkerchief with a spider's web wiped onto it.
Ah! Why would you bring something like that?
If you're Cannon-kun, you should be fine. But if spiders are your natural enemy, I thought you might not like it.
Are you kidding? Why would I hate spiders?
Sorry, I'll try it.
When Shannon brought that handkerchief close to Cannon's thigh, something happened in an instant. It happened all at once. The human eye couldn't have followed it. Cannon jumped like a wild goat, fleeing from the thing Shannon was holding. Then from his arm, some kind of afterglow flashed, purple, and drew a curve through space. That arc, which drew 3 beautiful purple curves, traced across the throats of Nanjo and Kumasawa, who had been tending to him. And in that instant, Nanjo and Kumasawa's throats opened like gaping mouths. The blood really started spewing out. The third purple curve should have traced across Shannon's throat. Shannon wasn't there. Because Genji, who had been behind her, wrapped his own arm around Shannon's neck and pulled her back. This all happened in an instant.
What?
Yeah, these two are dead now. The instant it took Goto to think fast in an attempt to understand the scene, the frozen moment in time shattered. Blood was gushing from Nanjo and Kumasawa's torn open necks. Cannon jumped and kicked off a picture frame that had been hanging from the wall behind him, springing forward just like a cat and aiming for Shannon's throat again. But Cannon's target once again disappeared from in front of him, because Genji had pulled Shannon again, and the two of them had fallen to the ground in a defensive crouch.
Nice reflexes, you senile old furniture.
Goto. Whoa! Even Goto was no fool. Even if he couldn't fully understand what was going on, he at least realized that this Cannon wasn't seized. His own life would also be in peril. He sprung at Cannon with his huge body, pushing him up against the wall with all his weight and physical strength.
Oh!
Let go, Faras.
No! That's body shaming!
Another purple curve was drawn from the tips of fingers on Cannon's right hand. And when he raised the hand like a sword, aiming for Goto's back, there was a loud thunk, because Cannon's raised hand had been pinned to the wall. He couldn't tear his palm away from the wall. Sticking out of it was the knife Genji had Damn, Genji! Damn, son! Under normal circumstances, it would have been surprising to see someone as old as Genji handle a knife so skillfully, but in this abnormal space, no one paid it much mind.
Genji-sama, take this.
Indeed. Genji took the handkerchief with the spiderweb stuck to it from Shannon, and he approached Cannon, who was pinned to the wall by Goto's massive body and the knife.
Stop it! Keep that away from me! Stop it! Stop! Oh!
But now it looks like Rosa was right. Because now any of the servants that are left are going to be like, oh, you were the wolves, huh?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Wheels within wheels.
Oh, God. When Genji pushed the handkerchief up against Cannon's face, there was a sound just like setting meat on a red-hot iron plate. Of course, the smell was the same too. And he was horribly burned, festering in filthy red and black, crying out in his death throes. Cannon's body burst open and scattered. It was almost as though a balloon filled with gold leaf had popped. The entire servant room was completely buried under a storm of gold leaf, no, a cloud of gold butterflies. Those butterflies began to softly fade, as though into water, or rather into the empty air itself. And afterwards, all that was left was the 3 survivors sitting on their butts, stained with blood. However, not everyone was merely stained with blood. Some of them were lying on the ground, spurting out blood themselves. Kumasawa, Dr. Nanjo! Slits so sharp they looked like they'd cut your finger if you touched them open wide. Large amounts of blood kept pouring out.
What was that just now? Ah!
Gota's having a moment.
Everybody else in the servants' quarters knows about all this weird black magic stuff, and Gota's just here to cook.
Yep.
And
Gota. Have you been injured?
I'm fine. What did we just see? What happened? I know I pushed the thing against the wall with my own hand, but even I cannot understand what happened.
Gota looked at his own hand. The bright red blood left from his scuffle with Cannon definitely remained. And yet Cannon was nowhere to be seen, because he had disappeared. He had transformed into gold butterflies and scattered. Gota kept screaming alone without a clue what was going on. Shannon sobbed in front of Nanjo and Kumasawa's remains. Genji watched over her, silent as always.
Clever move, Dick Nips. You think you're so smart. Yeah, well, guess what? I also have a beam sword from Halo 2.
sure.
I can get up in your business. Is that how we're doing it now?
At some point, Battler will fight someone.
Come on.
It's gonna happen. It's
Blood
a battle
Gulch.
anime now.
Let's do it.
It's gonna happen.
Round 2, fight!
Fight.
You're the one who's Rosa, so
I totally forgot what was going on.
I don't know what you're waiting for. Would you like an invitation?
Yes.
Hey, this is SK. If you'd like, I'd really love it if you'd come on and read your line.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll consider it.
Okay. My people will call your people.
Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were? What on earth are you talking about? Ah, Shannon. Thank goodness you're safe. If something had happened to you, George-sama. George-kun, be quiet for a second. A murder occurred before your very eyes, right? Did you see the culprit or not?
That is... how should I explain? Genji-san, take over from here.
Even we cannot adequately explain what happened in front of us.
It certainly, happened right before our eyes. It was right in front of my eyes. However, it was, what was it? Even I don't understand.
What are you saying? You couldn't have met anyone except the witch, Beatrice, whose location has been unknown since yesterday.
Wait, why is she calling Beatrice a witch?
Oh! Oh!
Not the guest.
The witch.
She's calling her the
Beatrice.
witch.
She is absolutely possessed ever since that scene when I was first, definitely not possessed, if not earlier.
Beatrice is playing both sides. Oh man, yes.
Wait, did I start this one already? I got off track.
I have no idea. Why don't you just take it from the top?
Yeah.
Professionals.
You can find more of this quality content at catgirl.training.
We can't do the
Sign up today.
We can't do the same gag twice in the same episode.
Just watch me.
Wow, how can I go to catgirl http://catgirl.training? If I would,
If only I had Wi-Fi!
No.
Are we still running with that
Yes.
gag?
What are you saying? You couldn't have met anyone except the witch, Beatrice, whose location has been unknown since yesterday. Or Canon-kun, who's gone missing. Was it a man or a woman?
She called her a witch.
You should be able to tell me at least that much, right?
Aunt Rosa, calm down a bit. Anyone would be confused if two people were taking out right in front of them. Goda-san, Genji-san, there's no need to rush. Tell us what happened, one thing at a time.
As to that, how should I say it?
Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san had been killed. We understood that much. It seemed that it occurred in front of these people's eyes, but even so they spoke awkwardly. They admitted that they had definitely seen the crime with their own eyes, but when asked to explain what they had seen, their mouths went suddenly shut. I could understand why Aunt Rosa was irritated and flaring up.
Shannon, did you see it? When Dr. Nanjo was attacked? Yes. Tell me, just what you understand. What in the world happened? Someone came to the back door.
That's right. Someone came up to the back door. Then wondering who it was, I opened the door.
Someone at the back door? Who was it?
Let them finish, Rosa. And after that,
That person was stained with blood and had a large wound. We carried that person to the servant room, and Dr. Nanjo immediately began first aid. It was a very deep wound. Like I said, who are you talking about? I don't know. Certainly in the beginning, I thought that was the case. No, I still think that, but what in the world was that? I don't know. I don't know.
in a manner that didn't match his large body,
Oh, also, I'm sorry I sound like that enough.
Goda held his hand and scratched at it. I didn't have a clue if he was confused because he couldn't remember, or because he'd seen something terrifying and couldn't accept it. And Shannon looked the same way. If she let her guard down, what she'd seen just a short while ago would quickly melt away like a daydream, and she wouldn't be able to remember anything. That's what she looked like. Hold on. Only Genji looked composed as usual. Nailed it.
Achoo.
Thanks. You wanted to join in too?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
felt
the
left
questions
out.
were naturally directed at him. However, even Genji took quite some time before he spoke, and had to gather his thoughts.
Genji-san, you saw it, right? Who came in through the back door?
Well, she actually came in through the bathroom window. At first, we believed that person was Canon.
You see, he was alive after all. My theory was correct. By at first, you mean that your impression changed later, right?
Yes. I cannot explain with words what happened after that. He killed Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa, and then disappeared. At that time, he was definitely not canon.
Yeah, this entire game is not canon. Yeah, that's right. It's just as Genji-san says. I really couldn't explain it with words.
Do you have the same opinion?
Yeah. Can only say the same thing. Oh, sorry. My bad. You wanna?
No.
Okay. Ellipsis. We give their claims the benefit of the doubt. It means that Aunt Rosa's first conclusion was correct. Cannon had appeared near the back door to the kitchen with a serious injury. Then he had been taken to the servant room and cared for. After that, something terrifying had happened. So, were these people so convinced that Cannon-kun couldn't possibly have done such a thing? That they'd started to suspect whatever it had... That they'd started to suspect whether it had even been Cannon-kun at all? In other words, that means Cannon-kun did appear. No matter how confused they are, no matter how muddled their words. That's what it means in the end. So does that mean, after all, Cannon-kun used some trick to escape that room even though it was locked? No, that doesn't matter anymore. The real problem is that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were killed. Aunt Rosa has claimed that Cannon-kun was behind this from the very beginning. No matter how confused these people are, no matter how much they try to deny it, they're halfway confirming that she was right. But even so, for some reason, I felt like their awkwardness couldn't be explained by confusion alone. Let's take a quick look at, Oof. Oh, I died in the serving room. The door sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. The finishing touches are yet to come.
I died in the surf room. My throat sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. However, this alone is not enough.
Wait.
The finishing touches are yet to come, and this alone isn't enough. Are their corpses gonna get super desecrated soon?
Well, we know there aren't enough murders yet.
That's true.
Also...
That's the same.
Okay. What did they see? Like they said, did they really see something that couldn't be explained with words? All right, bring back the vignetting. Get out here.
No.
Fine. Aunt Rosa, who decided that further talk wouldn't get us anywhere, concluded her questioning and said she wanted to check the 2 bodies. That was something I'd been wanting to do too. The witnesses had been unable to figure anything out, but they'd been shaken. If those of us who hadn't been at the scene calmly looked at the corpses, we might find something. But it was a little surprising to learn about that Aunt Rosa was also concerned about the bodies. Even at this point, I still wanted to use any clues I could find to expose the culprit of the truth myself. But it should have been different in Aunt Rosa's case. Hasn't Aunt Rosa prioritized staying safe over finding the culprit? I couldn't really see why she would go to all the trouble of leaving our barricade in the parlor, just because she wanted to check the bodies.
We will all go to the servant room together.
Battler's got an inkling. You definitely called it. You absolutely called it. I'm coming over to Team Possessed by Witch.
Team Beato.
Well, I didn't see that. If we all move together. Oh, fuck!
If we all move together, it'll be safe. Maria, stop playing with scribbles.
It's not Scribble. It's Scribble Nuts for the Nintendo DS.
That's not even out yet.
Not Scribbles. Solving Matrix puzzle. You boop.
Beatrice's puzzle. What's that? Show me too.
Aunt Rosa, are you bringing Maria-chan too?
It seemed that George Aniki was against the idea of bringing Maria to the bloody crime scene. But considering that Maria would be all alone if he left here, it'd surely be much safer to take Maria with us.
Don't even worry about it. That kid loves that stuff. Didn't you see the last crime scene?
I love dead bodies. Ooh, they got candy in them. I want candy.
In the end, it was just Aniki's irresponsible humanism. We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servant room. Excuse me. The bed in the servant room was stained with bright red blood. No, not just the bed. The whole room was covered with a gruesome paint from countless bloodstains. That dreadful scene alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight they'd been trying to describe.
You, I want to look too.
Maria-chan, wait here with me.
I want to see a bad body.
George Aniki was standing by the entrance, covering Maria's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty an innocent girl's retinas with the repulsive blood in this room.
I've seen way worse this morning. Really, there's nothing you can do to save me at this point.
Plus, it's arguable whether I'm innocent.
Why are you giving her a lisp?
I can't do her voice.
What's so hard about doing her voice? You sound like this.
It's really hard.
Sorry, Maria had to have some more coffee.
That was surely the correct decision. I was acting tough right now, so I didn't mind. For the rest of my life, whenever I see red paint scattered around, I'll probably remember this room and start to vomit. My retinas have already had this room burned into them. In other words, it's already too late for me.
Boy, howdy. Is it? I think it is already too late for everyone here.
Yep.
Huh.
Oh, where did they?
Right after they entered the servant room, Goto-san and Shannon-chan trembled. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to make them tremble again.
What happened? What is it?
Aunt Rosa also shuddered, raised her gun high, and searched for whatever it was that had made them shudder. But she couldn't find it. It was only natural. They were trembling because they couldn't find it. Hey, what in the world is going on? The two bodies are here.
What does this mean?
Rosa's angry face is very good. Look at those angry eyebrows.
I've been practicing my murder face.
Yeah. I've also noticed that her expressions are much more angersome than they have been on the other routes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she never looked like this during the... Except when she was chastising her dog. Oof. Not gonna unpack that crate right now.
That can't be. Those two were definitely here.
Wait. What the hell are you saying? The corpse just walked off somewhere? That couldn't happen, right? I mean, wasn't the servant room locked? Didn't you unlock the door when you came in just now, Goto-san? So what does that mean?
Son of a bitch, another locked
Isn't this
door
the same
puzzle.
as Jessica's room? Someone disappeared from inside a closed room again? That's ridiculous. Hold on, I need to go over in the corner and dissociate for a moment so I can ask Beato about it. I don't have a clue what happened either. When we left this room, we definitely locked it. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. There was a timid, pitiful smile on Goto-san's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shannon was the same. Two corpses disappeared. And furthermore, they disappeared while the door was locked? Even if Cannon-kun was the culprit, he shouldn't have had a master key anymore.
That's wrong. Cannon-kun isn't the culprit. Shannon. I believe Shannon. Cannon-kun is not the culprit. This must be the doing of someone who looks a lot like him.
No. You fool.
You absolute buffoon.
You dare challenge me in my own realm?
Just keep that no. What if you wanted to solve a murder, but Rosa said,
No.
no.
Cannon-kun could have gotten a master key. After all, his master key was found in the pocket of Jessica-chan's corpse. And who took that key? That's right, it was Dr. Nanjo.
That's right. Back then, it definitely was Dr. Nanjo who searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. Aunt Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. And by now I also understood what that meant. If you assume there are two culprits, this can be easily explained. First person was Kaneko.
Hi, that's me.
Or maybe an imposter who looked like him. Finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. Second person was probably the 19th person. That's a sentence. The second person was probably the 19th person.
This possibility was impossible.
I get it. That one I get. It's just how English works, but still. Beatrice, whose location was unknown. That person hid under the bed in the servant room beforehand, and while Dr. Nanjo's body was enshrined here, they waited for Gunji-san and the rest to leave. Then later they crawled out, took the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, carried the two corpses away for some reason.
Desecration time.
If they then locked the door with the master key, you'd end up with this closed room.
You constructed that one pretty fast, basing it off your reasoning from Jessica's room. With that method, you could create a closed room even without magic. Should I give you passing marks? However, interestingly enough, there's one thing you mustn't forget. If the culprit took back the master key as you suggest, they must have known that Nanjo took the master key from Jessica's body.
Did they? They might have just found it.
Yeah.
Then I guess they might not have known what the significance was, but you don't have to...
I almost forgot to do my head voice for a moment. You don't have to tell me that. You're probably trying to say it's information only the people in that place at that time could know. This third closed room was crushed so fast that you're stuck trying to make hurtful remarks like that. There's no art in repeating the same content over and over.
Stares directly at camera.
Anyway, look forward to next week when we do Umineko Part 20. I may have managed to bluff, but that move off the witch hurts bad. The move of the witches hurts bad. I can tell that I'm cracking under the thing I want to deny the most. This person trying to close in on me from two directions. On one hand, there's the frontal attack, where she tries to force me to believe there's a witch using closed room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's the rear attack, where she tries to lure me into wanting a witch to exist, by strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. In the first closed room, the chapel, she used the frontal attack, but it didn't work on me. So by the second closed room, and now on the third closed room, she's definitely changing the direction of her attack. However, the fact that she is changing the direction of her attack proves that my resistance is having some effect. And she must have given up on the frontal attack because she clearly can't win with it.
I'm too stupid for that to work on me. Evidence? Ha!
I tried to settle my unease by thinking these things, but apparently the witch had seen through me long ago. Beato.wave.
I will not abandon my frontal attack. A rear attack only has meaning because it advances at the same time as the front.
What about your dorsal attack?
That's coming up next chapter. If I were to degenerate into using only the rear attack, it would merely result in a foolish plan where my means have become my goal. Anyway, prepare yourself for the front stinger.
Prepare yourself. Alright. Wait, well, I want a front stinger. Really? Well then, won't you repeat someone was hiding in the servant room using that red you're so proud of?
There is no need. The premise of your theory is about to be destroyed.
Oh, really? You refuse? So someone really is hiding?
Rosa will destroy your premise right now. Come, let's listen in.
Please believe us, Rosa-sama. The two corpses were definitely lying here. The bright red blood on the floor is theirs.
Well, how could they be lying if they were already dead? Checkmate, atheists.
Evil Rosa. Have I actually shown you that episode? Did I actually?
Yes,
I did.
Evil
okay.
Hand, what's it gonna do?
Yes, I
Absolutely.
did. Okay, good. Aunt Rosa began to search through various objects around the room, her back to Goto-san as he cried out in supplication. Eventually, she found something, and for a while, stopped moving.
Rosa-sama, we definitely aren't lying. The two corpses were definitely here.
Be quiet.
You gonna click or?
The person who hid the corpses has confessed that they took them to another place. With this.
Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder. What on earth is that? Could it be a letter in a sealed envelope just like the chapel?
Yes, that's right. It was set here out in the open. I'll read it.
Wait, how come she was the one to find it?
Yeah, huh?
No one else noticed it.
Yeah.
No one else, it was out in the open, but no one else noticed it before you picked it up?
Members of the Ushiromiya family and its household. Have you now reached the climax of the Riddle of the Gold's epitaph? There is only one way you all can stop me, by solving the epitaph's riddle. There are no other options left to you that will result in the suspension of my ceremony.
Interesting. This implies that
There were other options.
there were other options beforehand, which is fascinating. It's not just you have... That leaves open the option that they might stymie it somehow.
For example, would it work if you kill some people first so Beato can't? Does that work?
Or would the... I don't know, I feel like those might be grandfathered into the ceremony, but what if you killed them in the wrong way?
Yeah.
Like, that first killing has to be 6 at once. That seems pretty specific.
I humbly ask that you take care not to misunderstand your current situation. Searching for me will prove useless. Attempting to escape will prove useless. Trying to deny me will prove useless. Beatrice the Golden. P.S. I borrowed those two corpses for my ceremony. I'm totally gonna desecrate them a lot. They'll be returned to you in due time, so I crave your indulgence. Also, these keys belong to you, so I return them to you now.
As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed in the palm of her hand. They were 2 master keys. The problem is that it couldn't have been Rosa because people had their eyes on her the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
At best, she's an accomplice. Because she definitely could have placed that envelope with the keys there. How did she get them? The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been Kanon's, and Kumasawa's master key. What the fuck? So what does that mean? Damn you again? You're saying I could only suspect the servants with keys again?
I fucking love closed rooms, okay? Fuck you. I won't say it in red, okay? I won't deny the possibility that after they locked the door and left, someone was hiding in this room, okay?
They hid under the bed, it still would have been possible for them to carry the corpses somewhere. They wouldn't have been able to lock the door. The master key they went all that trouble to get was left right here. That's right, I'd forgotten. What are the keys specifically for this room? The servant room keys.
Indeed. Those are kept in the key box in the center of the servant room. There are several servant room keys, but all of those are inside the key box.
Which means the situation is exactly the same as Jessica's room. It's not like the servants would walk around with an unnecessary key when they have all those convenient master keys. Except they're all kept in the key box.
And the other conditions remain unchanged as well. Entry and exit are impossible except for the single door and the single window. Therefore, hidden doors and irregular methods of entry cannot exist. Rejoice, great detectives! And those were both locked. The door and the window do not permit any kind of entry or exit when they are locked. So it wouldn't work to remove the door and make a crack to slide in through or anything like that while the lock is still set. And obviously, it is impossible to unlock the door without a servant room key or the master key. It's a pain having to read these aloud every time. Sooner or later, I should think of a word to put this all together and abbreviate it.
But you can't repeat that someone was hiding in this room. However, that alone won't break open the door of a closed room. Huh, damn it. Unless that person's still there and Rosa just kept quiet. That's the thing. They're assuming that they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
But what if Rosa's the accomplice, then she goes down and looks, and like, shh, don't talk.
Beato is just standing there behind everybody and just like taps Rosa on the shoulder and is like, hey, letter for you. And she's like, oh, thanks.
So she's under the bed just staring at like, letter for you. Battler, I need you to go over there and look the fuck underneath that bed right now, buddy. It's all useless, it's useless, it's all useless.
What happened to that spinning the chessboard around thing that you're so proud of?
All the pieces fell off.
Have you been eating the pieces again?
No, maybe a little.
Save some
Just
for
the rook.
Save some for me.
No, these are mine. Get your own chessboard.
Please announce your boastful, strange theory.
Spin the chessboard around. What would I do if I were the culprit? Whoa, my voice! What would I do if I were the culprit? I carry the corpses off somewhere. Make a letter. I lock the door from the inside. Then I just have to escape this room by some means. Damn it, is that even possible? I told Red that you can't get outside except through the door or the window. Ah! At that moment, I got it. That's right. The culprit carried away the corpses, left the letter, and since they didn't use a hidden door, they weren't able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question, it's an answer. Beato, before I ask you to repeat anything, I want to check the definition of hidden doors that you are using.
What have you thought of? Very well, I'll explain. A hidden door refers to an entrance or exit that cannot be recognized as such by those who don't know of it beforehand. Of course. Even children know that.
So in other words, if you can't get outside the room with it, it isn't a hidden door?
Oh? So that's your game.
Kept thinking there needed to be some way for the culprit to escape from the closed room. That's wrong. Culprit couldn't escape.
so I decided to hide until we all left. During the second closed room, I tried applying this theory to Canon-kun. After hearing Canon-kun was killed in red, I gave it up. To that, I proposed a third person might have been in the room before escaping through a hidden door. And for the first time, I was faced with the red claim that no hidden doors exist. And I moved from there to what I just learned. The term hidden door refers to things that make it impossible to enter or leave a room. In other words, that category doesn't cover things that don't actually lead in or out of the room, even if those things could never be recognized by people who didn't know about them beforehand. So if we had something like...
That's clever! That's clever as fuck!
So if we had something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, for example, that wouldn't count as a hidden door. It means the third person from Jessica's room is hiding here waiting for us to leave. Pathetic, it was all just a bit of wordplay! You see, that technique should be enough to handle even this third closed room. Even if there's a hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, it'd be enough. Culprit's hiding somewhere waiting for us to leave. Culprit's also trapped in this closed room even now. Which means at this very moment, the culprit's still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. That means, the hell. Though we're tortured by closed room 3 times at this very moment, we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate!
I think the one critical flaw with this theory
Yep.
is that it operates under the assumption that the way the culprit is going to get out is to wait until everybody leaves and leave normally.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that discounts the probability that the culprit is not locked in here with them. They're in here with the culprit. The easiest way to get out scot-free is just to kill everybody in the room.
I don't think he's discounted that.
Okay.
And he's not finalized it yet. He's just kind of... He still needs to run it by Beto for some red text, but...
Yeah.
I think I'm finally starting to see it. Eat this, Beto. Repeat
Oh,
it.
please, I'm starving.
Repeat it. Eat my finger.
Oh, okay.
There is no one in this room other than us. By us, I mean me, George, Aniki, Maria, Androsa, Genji-san, Goto-san, Shannon-chan. Got it? What do you think? You can't say it, right?
Get your hand out of the fucking way. The camera can't see me.
No.
Ha. Ha ha.
I'll bet that hit you where it hurts.
Yes, you got me right in the face with your giant fucking hand.
I'll do it again.
Okay.
If you refuse, then say it, damn it. Here comes the next one. Repeat it.
I don't know how they're hiding in this room. But if they are, then this solves the second closed room, Jessica's room at the same time. I finally caught her by the tail. But this guy can explain everything. Witches don't exist and I don't have to suspect anyone. Alright, starting now, I'll spin it all around. Now I'll have her repeat that.
No one exists in this room except your group. Your group refers to Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, and Shannon. Ha ha ha.
Damn! Just when they were building it all up, too.
What?
Let's go back to Jessica's room. When Jessica's corpse was discovered, only Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, Shannon, Kumasawa, and Nanjo were in Jessica's room. Whoops, the corpse of Jessica is also included. Therefore, both in the case involving Jessica's room and the one involving this servant room, no humans exist that you were not aware of.
Humans. That's it again. That's...
But, scroll up to the previous red text. This one says no one exists. It doesn't specify humans.
Right, okay, maybe then we're pulling at something that's just kind of a...
I don't know, but maybe it does matter.
I'd keep in mind, but that one could conceivably just be like a quirk of the translation or just how it's...
Actually, no. I realized it. It makes perfect sense because Battler's trying to argue that a human did it. If he accepts that a non-human was in the room, then
he's
he
lost.
accepts that Beato is a witch,
Right.
and he loses. That's why it's phrased specifically that way. Beato is obviously leaving open the possibility that she was there and did it, because she wants Battler to conclude that.
Right.
No one is hiding.
Not no human is hiding, no one is hiding.
And I'll say more, no methods exist by which the door can be locked from the outside without using a key. Regarding the window, no method exists by which it could somehow be locked from the outside. And let me also say this. You are incompetent.
She can say that in red? Look at that face. Look at that face. Hold on. Damn!
The old one's so much better.
It is, but look at that bitch. Like, what the fuck are you even doing, battler?
And let me add more. You're a stupid fucking piss baby. I can even say that in red. Fuck you.
What? Just because I piss, everyone pisses themselves when they are a baby. How come she can do that in red text? That's kind of cheapening the. Dumbass. So it's really a closed room, isn't it? And just when I think I finally managed to think of a way out, you were hiding. That would fit everything. Just when I thought I'd broken through to your trick, damn it! Ah! It's useless, it's useless, it's useless, it's all useless! For a second I thought I had it! It was all useless! Damn it! I was so sure I'd finally seen through her, now that she distracted me with her clever red wordplay and fooled me. Just when I thought I'd found a light in the darkness, it disappeared. It disappeared, swallowed up by a blood-red sea. Red, 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 red! No one is hiding! There's no hidden door! There's no way to get past the door or window while they're locked! Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been fulfilled? With a frontal attack? Impossible, that's impossible!
What's wrong, Ushirovia Battler?
No, she only held it for a moment that time. And she only added one extra E.
That's why I only held it for a moment.
Battler!
That's why I only held it for a moment.
Okay, fair enough.
Weren't you so confident in your ability to deny witches? Why are you groveling and wringing out bitter tears in a place like that? Yes, what a truly splendid tactic. Truly splendid how you're trying to make me fall over and drown in a sea of tears from my own laughter. That is what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make me laugh and laugh and laugh myself to death, right? Ushirovia Battler.
You're not allowed to play Beato.wave like 4 times in a row. That's cheating. What are you calling magic? I'll definitely prove that witches don't exist. I definitely won't believe in you. Use the power of magic and bullied and killed everyone for fun? I definitely won't accept that.
Hey there, Battler. Sorry for bullying you so much. I'll spin the chessboard around from my
She
side.
really is just straight up bullying this kid. Like, just straight up, just like, no, fuck you in particular, kid.
I'll stand in your place and show you the best possible move you could make. Wanna hear?
Don't screw with me, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. It's gonna be something about giving a toe job.
Fuck. I'll tell you the second best move you can make. Consider Jessica's room. You were off to a good start, you know that? All that about hiding and waiting for everyone else to leave. That truly was well spotted. But why did you only think of Canon and me, the 19th person? I see. So the hide part of hiding and waiting got in the way, which prevented you from getting any further. Come on, you see what I'm getting at, don't you? It's Jessica. Jessica!
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? If Jessica were the culprit, a farce like this could easily be constructed. She killed Canon-kun and carried him off somewhere. Then she played dead and let us walk by. That's ridiculous. Dr. Nanjo definitely confirmed that she was dead, so was Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too? That's wrong! I also confirmed that Jessica was dead. Of course, I never examined a corpse before, but she was definitely dead. I think she was dead. No, that's probably surely definitely what I thought, but I certainly wait. She was dead! She was dead!
Jessica was in on it, and Nanjo, who examined her corpse, was in on it too.
Straight up bullying.
And that makes the third closed room a farce, doesn't it?
Yeah, because then it's simple. Dr. Nanjo was in on it, so in other words, he's on the culprit side, which means he was never dead in the first place? I thought his body disappeared after he was killed, but what if he was never in the servant room to begin with? That's new.
Everything turned red, and the... Wow.
Wow. I think this might be because Battler's letting himself spiral down a dead end. So if Kumasawa Bachan disappeared with him, does that mean she's in on it too? That's not all, that's not all. Servants who all agreed to keep that story, Genji-san and Goto-san and even Shannon-chan were also in on it. And the one who stole the key from Maria's handbag was Jessica. No, it couldn't have been George Hanaki. After all, if Shannon Chan was on the culprit side, then automatically makes George on the keys on the culprit side
And
too.
our going forward icon is red too. That happened once before.
They're all wolves. They're all wolves. Not only am I drowning.
This happened last chapter.
It did.
And I pointed it out, and it was when someone was spiraling into paranoia.
Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, there are packs of wolves clambering on the banks whose blazing eyes tell me that they'll eat me if I crawl out. Which way should I die? Should I deny everything and drown in a bright red sea? Or should I learn the truth and have my whole body chewed to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or another. I can't choose.
That's why I'm here. Come, Ushiromiya Battler, and kneel. Swear your eternal loyalty and lick my shoes.
What does it mean when she says statements of fact in red?
I know, right?
Because is there something else about red text we don't? There must be. Red text, because if she's using red text for things that aren't statements of fact,
we'll see.
Maybe red text means something different than we thought it.
Yeah, we'll see. I have not got an idea on what it could be, but clearly the red shows up in other places.
Yeah.
Other than what she has specifically said. But I do not see a specific thing.
Anyway, toe job.
If you accept me, all the riddles will be resolved. With my power, any kind of closed room can be created or destroyed. Battler, don't you want to abandon yourself to the joy of surrendering to one with power? I'll make you my favorite furniture. I'll love you so much and make you my toy until you turn to ashes. 3 Beatos. Maybe more.
Oh no, that's so many Beatos! Wait, that's it? You thought you would have more than that many on each foot.
Now it's clear. There's no longer any reason to doubt.
Huh? What are you saying?
You kept saying those two were dead, but they aren't here. And now we have this letter from Beatrice where she's been kind enough to confess that she carried the corpses off. It's as simple as that. I've had enough of this farce.
As Aunt Rosa yelled this, she looked at all of us with a fierce expression.
What do you mean by farce? I said it in Jessica-chan's room. You can't trust anyone but yourself and those whose corpses have been found. And since we can't find the corpses of those two people, we must not accept that they've been killed. Please, wait, Aunt Rosa. What do you mean by that? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san aren't dead. They're alive. We're supposed to believe that they've been killed, but they're definitely hiding somewhere in this mansion so that they can attack us. How could you know that? Are you saying that Goda-san and the rest are lying?
Rosa-sama, I go to know all those Shiromiya family servants. We all swear that nothing of the sort happened.
You all say that those two were killed. But since there are no corpses, we mustn't believe you.
I don't think that's how that works, but alright.
There's a chance that you worked out a story beforehand, that you're lying. There's a good way to prove your innocence, isn't there? Find Dr. Nanjo's and Kumasawa-san's bodies. If you can find them, then maybe I'll start listening to your story. But until you do, you cannot deny that you are all wolves. You. And you. I'll bet you were all bought by that witch, that your eyes were blinded by gold. Do you really want money that much? That's right, isn't it? You want to live the easy life for as long as you live? What value could a life like that possibly have? Rosa-sama, we couldn't have... Be silent. And Shannon, don't get any closer. To think you'd repay a 10-year-long debt of gratitude with betrayal. I'll pull the trigger without mercy. How could you? It's too cruel.
On Rosa, that's horrible. A murder occurred in this room, and then the culprit carried the corpses away. All they're doing is honestly reporting what they saw. Shannon had finally broken down in tears. She had sacrificed 10 years to the Ushiromiya family. She had sacrificed 10 of the most brilliant years of her life. She'd believed that she'd built up a friendly relationship with Rosa, and this was what she got in return. You can kill a person without using a knife. I didn't have to be George Aniki to realize that Shannon-chan had been stabbed deep in the heart, that she was shedding tears like blood.
Shannon-chan, stay back. Rosa-sama, it's true that I, Goto, have not served for many years, and I understand that I have not earned your trust. However, could you not believe in Shannon-san at least? She has sacrificed a full 10 years in service to the Oshiromiya family. I'm not telling you to believe me. At the very least, can't you believe in Shannon-san?
I'm slowly turning around on Goda. He seemed like a piece of shit when he first showed up, but it's come to this, and it's just been like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm doing my best to keep people alive, and even if you can't trust me, I am going to try to get you to trust the people you can trust.
It's when the chips are down, he certainly changes.
Yeah.
Like, when things are perfectly normal, he's kind of a bit of an asshole. But when things are serious, he knows how to change gears and that. But even I don't understand anymore. I don't understand. We can't search for an answer without suspecting them. Yeah. Bit by bit, I'm starting to understand. It's because we've been searching an answer. That's why everything keeps going wrong. You don't need an answer. These are all strange murders committed with bizarre magic by the 19th person, the witch Beatrice, in accordance with some creepy ceremony. Isn't that enough? I don't want to suspect anyone anymore. Shannon-chan and Goda-san were protesting their innocence, half crying. Genji-san quietly put a stop to that. Enough. What Rosa-sama says is quite sensible. Until we find the corpses, we cannot prove Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa's innocence. That's right. By Rosa-san's argument, if their corpses can be found, the innocence of those people can alone be proven. But that only counted for the corpses. Even if the survivors searched the mansion and found the corpses, in the end, their own innocence would never be proven. They kidnapped Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san, killed them in another place, locked the closed room with their own master keys. Unless the closed room could be broken by a method other than that one, it would be impossible to prove their innocence. But that couldn't be done. They only have one chance to prove their innocence. It can only happen if they meet with the culprit, become corpses, and are then reunited with Aunt Rosa. Isn't that strange? They're innocent if they die, but guilty as long as they're alive, just like a witch trial. Alright, the enemy's a witch. So everything's cool, is that it?
Yeah, it is pretty cool, huh?
No! Rosa-sama. We are furniture and service to the Ushiromiya family. Whether you trust us or not is no business of ours. No matter what assessment you give us, we will merely continue to serve until our final hour.
You really are a model servant. I deeply understand why Father trusts you. It really is heartrending that I must suspect even you.
Genji-san stuck his hand into his pocket and pulled out a master key. Then he set it on a nearby table. I believe I was given this as a sign of the trust placed in me. If that trust has been lost, I think it only natural that I return it.
That's a good decision. Those master keys are the main reason you've been suspected several times today. It may seem elementary that letting go of those might clear away that suspicion, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
You too. Genji-san looked at Goda-san and Shannon-chan. The two of them nodded and set their own master keys on the table. Aunt Rosa laid the 2 master keys that had come out of the envelope on top. That all 5 master keys were gathered in this place. In other words, this was the proof that all of the servants' service until today had been negated, that even the final honor they should have been permitted stripped from them.
Maria, give me that handbag.
Yeah, give back.
Aunt Rosa snatched Maria's handbag, tossed the master keys in there, and held up one of them for all to see. She was showing us that she now had all the master keys.
Are you satisfied now, Aunt Rosa? Now you have all the master keys. Doesn't that satisfy you? Yes, I'm satisfied. Even if I can't trust anyone else, I can at least trust myself. I've been able to get the gun and all the master keys for myself. Now I don't have to suspect anyone. You all are happy too, I take it? Now you don't have to be suspected anymore.
She's Beato laughing! You were right! At that time, Maria, who had alone seemed to be watching this as though it were a show, sneered at her mother. Aunt Rosa reacted nervously to that laugh and turned around.
You don't have anything to do with this. Beatrice can open doors with magic. She doesn't need keys. Doesn't matter who has or doesn't have something like that.
Don't I always tell you to stop laughing like that? Huh? What is it, Battler-kun?
I had just cut in between the two of them. No, that's not it. I was on my knees and hugging Maria's head. I was crying. Just stop it already, Aunt Rosa. Maria was right.
What are you talking about?
Maria, I'm sorry for doubting. I'm sorry for not believing.
Rather.
It's all the witch is doing. The witch is doing. That stuff about tricks and closed rooms didn't matter. It's just the witch Beatrice actually exists, and she's really a witch. And because I didn't believe, it's so painful and so sad.
You believe in Beatrice?
Yes, I believe. Beatrice exists. And she's a witch who uses strange magic.
Rather.
Maria let go of my hand, and then she was the one holding my head.
That's enough, Rather. Beatrice existed. You had so much trouble believing, so you couldn't see her. Witches exist. They exist. And will come soon. You believed in Beatos, you'll surely be invited to the Golden Land. Very soon. Will happen very soon. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. There's no more need to be afraid, okay? Stay with me, hands joined, okay? Let's think about the riddle of the epitaph together. Let's think about Beatos' puzzle. Beato has been saying it from the beginning. She hasn't said anything other than let's play and solve this puzzle.
Right, she did. Suffering for the culprit was just a waste of time. Only we had just believed the witch. After gently brushing my cheek as tears kept dripping down, Maria kissed my forehead as softly as a feather. For just that instant, Maria's smile, which at once seemed creepy to me, looked like that of an angel.
So Battler straight up gives in chapter 2.
Chapter fucking 2? What the shit? Okay, then what?
Where the fuck are we going from here?
Are you kidding me? I thought that was a reasonably good setup for like you could get 8 chapters out of that. Holy fuck! Apparently not. What the fuck is gonna happen?
Hard left turns only. 1 per chapter minimum.
But then we're just gonna write it back
Thank
where
you,
we started.
07th expansion. Depends how far you go before each left turn.
Okay, fine. We have turned the master keys, but our loyalty to the Ushiromi family will not change. From now on, we will not enter the parlor without permission. First, someone please lock the parlor from the inside.
You truly are an admirable person. When the typhoon passes, if the cries of the seagulls return to this island again, I wonder if we'll be able to trust each other once more.
If you were to grant us your trust once again, there could be no greater pleasure.
I see. We'll definitely be able to understand each other. When the seagulls cry. Title drop.
It would probably be best if we left this room as it is until the police come. Rosa-sama, if you would please lock it. We will return to the kitchen. If you need anything, please command us at any time.
Thank you. If you are a wolf, how shamelessly you speak. And if you are a sheep, then I'm sorry for throwing you into the cage of wolves.
Furniture entrusts its fate to the family. If I could regain your trust by giving up this life of mine, I would consider it a great honor.
I hope you all manage to remain safe until the typhoon passes. If such a thing is possible. This is all a rhapsody of blowing winds and pouring rain performed by the typhoon. When the performance ends and the curtain closes, we will surely be able to grasp hands together again.
When the seagulls cry. Aunt Rosa nodded in response. Genji-san turned on his heels. He left the servant room. Goto-san's face was still streaked with tears, but Maybe he'd managed to sort out his feelings as he listened to Genji-san's words. His face had been truly shameful, but it had returned to the face of Goto-san we knew well.
I will also be waiting in the kitchen. Need anything, please command me at any time. Wish for some more food? I, Goto, will have the very best prepared for you.
Thank you. I can't wait for your breakfast tomorrow. And the boat will probably come by midday tomorrow. Thanks for everything up until now. Your cooking was my only pleasure on Rokkenjima.
Certainly. I, Goto, will prepare a supreme breakfast. Please look forward to tomorrow morning.
Thank you. And Shannon-chan, tomorrow morning, let's make up and have some delicious coffee. George-kun? I'm going with them. It's all right, George-sama. Please return to the parlor. There are no more master keys, so if you're with Rosa-sama in the parlor, you won't be threatened by anyone. You're right. That's how things have sorted themselves out, isn't it? Objectively speaking, I'd say you'll be safest staying with me in the parlor, but I won't force you to stay with us. George-kun, you may stay in any place you feel is safe. You're already an adult. It's up to you where and with whom you spend the time until tomorrow morning. Yes, I will decide with whom I'll spend this night.
Aniki.
Battler-kun, stay with Aunt Rosa in the parlor. I'm sure you'll be safest there. Everywhere outside the parlor is dangerous in comparison. So, I can't leave her in a place like that alone.
I suspect Shannon-chan and the other servants or anyone at all. I don't want to suspect anyone. The inheritance? Gold? That's all nothing. There's no way people are killing each other over things like that.
Yes, I know better than anyone how pure your heart is, Battler-kun. No one will blame you. No one.
Aniki.
It's alright. I'll protect you, Battler. If you're with me, even Beatrice won't be able to land a hand on you. I may be small, but I'm still a witch.
Fucking called it!
What, that she's a witch?
Yeah!
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
Like, this witch is all the way down.
Though, is she a witch or is she like an aspiring witch? When she says she's a witch, that doesn't mean she's like fully fledged. She might just still be like apprenticed here.
It's witches all the way down.
Okay.
This Rokkenjima is fucking crawling with witches. There's so many witches.
Oh no, there's one right there. Smack.
Yes. Maria-chan, I'm leaving Battler in your care. All right, Shannon, let's go. Yes. Rosa-sama, if you would excuse me. If you have an order, please call me at any time. Oh, right, the fucking phones don't work. I'm sorry for saying something so cruel just now. I don't expect you to forgive me until tomorrow morning. But when tomorrow morning comes, let me apologize again. Yes. Thank you very much.
George Aniki and Shannon-chan left the servant room together. Now only Maria, Aunt Rosa, and I were left in this disgusting blood-stained room. Until Genji-san appeared, until Goto-san disappeared. Oh, sorry. Until Genji-san disappeared, until Goto-san disappeared, until George Aniki and Shannon-chan disappeared. We stood there, shocked. After their presence and their footsteps had completely disappeared, Aunt Rosa giggled as though she just remembered something pleasant.
You can't trust them for a moment. That damned furniture.
That one sentence made me choke. Why are you saying something like that? Yes! Abso-fucking-lutely, it's...
There are 5 master keys in all? Who would believe that? It's obvious that some duplicate keys exist. As if we could trust them just because they pulled keys out of their pockets.
You don't mean that, right? By setting down those keys, they weren't just letting go of them. You've made all their hard work count for nothing, disgraced it, trampled it. And in the end, you made them give up their keys. What's with that parting line. They've shown that they're willing to go this far and you still can't trust them? Too much. That's just too much.
It's a devil's proof. There are 5 master keys in all? Wait, who's talking? Is it me?
It's Rosa, yep.
It's impossible to prove something like that. You can show that there are 5 master keys by placing them here, but you can't prove that no more than 5 exist. Only a demon or a witch could prove something like that, right?
Stop it! Stop it already! These mages, show yourself right now. And tell Aunt Rosa and Red that there are only 5 master keys. Please, I'm begging you. They're going to be proved by devils, by a witch like you. Please, Beto, show yourself here and tell Rosa those are all the master keys and that there's no need to suspect anyone anymore.
There are only 5 master keys. There are only 5 master keys. How's that? No matter how often I say it, it won't reach Rosa's ears. After all, it seems there's still someone who denies that I exist, right? Ushiromi Battler!
I accept it. Accept it, you exist, you definitely exist. So I'm begging you, stop this already. Stop it already, stop it already.
Words alone are not enough. Show it with your actions. Swear from your heart that you will become my furniture. Can you do it? Take off your clothes, be naked, then put your hands on the ground and crawl.
Does Birdie have to be here for this part?
Absolutely.
Damn it!
Clothing is proof of one's humanity. From now on, you will become furniture. So it's only natural that you will lose that right. Then kneel, make your tongue crawl on my shoes. Can you do it? You can do it, right? When you do, I'll appear and say it in red. I'll tell Rosa that there are only 5 master keys. Oh, but of course you'll never abandon that lordly pride of yours. But you've done well. You've done more than enough. And you're starting to get that tingly feeling, aren't you? For just an instant, you thought maybe licking my shoes wouldn't be so bad, didn't you? And you immediately denied that and felt ashamed, right? Just looking at your expression feels just heavenly. That face of yours is so pathetic, so go look in a mirror. You'll see how low you are, naked and licking my shoes, right? Can you see it? Ushiromi Battler!
Fuck!
Is everyone totally dead by this upcoming scene?
Damn, son.
We reached morning.
We reached morning, and we'll have to find out what happens next time. Next time. Next time. One of these will be the no other count, I promise.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.
When do you think Battler gets the gun? We're all taking turns at the gun.